Aquarius, lot came through in that channel. Lots of good things. A lot of sacral activation, a lot of kundalini activation, a lot of passion and excitement and intimacy. And I don't think you have time for anyone's BS or for them to complain. I also saw this like beautiful goddess, empress, queen holding this giant staff, and she's like, silence! Like, I will not have you talk over me or have the same excuse. Like, you wanted my counsel, you wanted my time. This is what I have to say. So it's just like a lot of beautiful power and energy that's coming through, and a lot of things that are going to bring in more passion or intimacy. One of the things that came through was like dancing at a rave, which doesn't have to be at a rave, but just kind of like dancing, moving your hips in other ways if that's more aligned right now. But it seems that just getting in that movement, getting in your power, getting that type of activation is going to lend itself very nicely in positions of leadership. Like I said too, if you're not getting that kind of attention or validation, or if people are not listening to what you have to say, it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm not meant to lead these people anymore. Or if you're in a position of management or running your business, it's like, what I say goes, and not in an egotistical way. It's like, I'm tired of having the same conversation over and over again. Aquarians are also going through it right now. Saturn's in Aquarius, the eclipses are happening in fixed nodes. It's kind of like, you know that scene in Heathers when Winona Ryder just got through that explosion? And then one of the Heathers, Shannon Doherty, is like, Veronica, you look like hell. And Winona's like, I just got back. That's what it feels like. I feel like to be in Aquarius right now, where it's like you just don't have time for what isn't bringing pleasure or money. So that is that. I think that's very clear. Also, if some of you are writing like policies or a book or a course, or just feeling called to journal more, that was coming through. I think it's more so if you can write it down, then you're like, this is exactly what I want to say, whether that's on social media or a presentation or when you're negotiating, whatever it is, like writing it down, and then when you see it on paper, it's like, perfect, that's what I want to say. Some of you might also be writing copy or writing like scripts or jokes or ghostwriting for other people, but this seems more in line with getting clear on your own words, your own thoughts. Remember that Mercury will be moving into Gemini at the end of the month, but then it's going to station retrograde mid-May when Jupiter moves into Aries. So a lot's going to be shifting, but I also feel like Jupiter moving into Aries on May 10th is going to bring a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a lot of stimulation. So that was coming through. And also the notion of a cat just kind of like purring on your stomach. So some of you are working through like digestive issues, gut health issues, or just even wanting to maybe work on your core and getting like nice and fit and healthy for the summer. I think that was coming through. And I think it's all kind of aligned, right? Like sacral, solar plexus, those chakras are right next to each other. Having more fun, standing in your power more, feeling more confident, that lending itself to your professional or business life, and then how you deal with interactions with other. I think they're all just kind of connected really nicely. And also just giving that attention to your nutrition, to your body, because you're gonna need the energy and you're gonna need your health in tip-top shape as we navigate the eclipses, right, with this Taurus season. So all good things. It's kind of a lot of just like what I say goes, and I'm not here for anything less than what I deserve, okay? The cards also very much reflect that. So first three cards that I pulled, Aquarius, we have the Emperor, the Hermit, and the Queen of Cups. Like, is that not just everything that we just talked about, how people are coming to you for guidance and wisdom, and you're going to hold space, but that Emperor is not going to just idly sit by and allow people to moan and groan and play the victim. It's like, I will hold space, I will encourage, I will stimulate, I will bring joy, I will help you through the darkness, but I'm not going to empty my cup to support you. Or that can also just be something to note. Are you pouring from an empty cup? Are you going and going and going and not allowing yourself to take a moment to pause and reflect and get the resources to support you, right? So yes, that power, more authority, more recognition, that's coming through. Like I said, Jupiter and Aries, I think will bring expansion in all ways. But first and foremost, making sure we give that to ourselves so that we can give that to others, knowing what our boundaries or what our limits are so that we're not depleting ourselves. And some of you might also chew with the Emperor and the Hermit, might be looking for a different spiritual mentor, a different coach, a different guide to support you so that you have more resources to draw on, right? Whenever I think of the Queen of Cups, it's like she has this beautiful ornate chalice and there's literally water all around her. So if she ever is at a place where her cup is running low or even empty, she immediately just reaches down and it's full again. And I would highly recommend that too with the eclipses that are going on, surrounding yourself with the right resources and people to support you so that if you're feeling depleted or you need something done, that you have a staff member, that you have a meal delivery service, that you have an at-home masseuse that comes in every Thursday to give you a massage to help realign your body. I just think that having those spiritual healers as well in your corner would be very helpful, especially as we navigate the eclipses. And also too, I think that you're probably potentially going to be that role, even if it's not professionally, but just for a friend, a lover. But again, don't lose sight of that kind of Aries, that Martian or that Emperor energy. It's a really nice balance of masculine and feminine here, of claiming your power, but not allowing yourself to be depleted in the process, okay? The next three cards, we have the Ace of Swords with the Two of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So for me, this is new opportunity, potentially new money coming in, new ideas that are going to allow new breakthroughs on what's coming through. Some of you might just be in a position where you're moving a lot of money around or needing more money to bring in new expansion. You have all these thoughts and ideas and like, cool, I know I want to do X, Y, and Z, but how can I call in or utilize my money or my resources or my talents in a way to accumulate more? And that's kind of going back to what we just said. If we're pouring from an empty cup or a half full cup, it's going to be that much harder to receive those downloads or be in a sense where they can all kind of come through. And this King of Cups is also very interesting here. So Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles, King of Cups. And then I think, Aquarians, that you're always very benevolent, always having such a servant or serving heart for other people, but who's holding space for you? And we kind of talked about that in terms of maybe seeking out a different guide or a coach, but even just from an emotional standpoint where it's not professional or it's not from a place of self-development, of just who is there to love and support you unconditionally. That is always just going to hold space for you. That's always going to provide for you. And that can even just be for yourself of knowing it's like, okay, like I'm stepping away from my responsibilities or from my work and I just get to enjoy this, whether it's dancing at a rave or having fun in whatever you deem fun. I think there's some opportunity here. It's like I get to reestablish how big my cup is and what I get to enjoy, and maybe even just attracting that love and that unconditional support to you where you don't even have to ask. You have a friend or a partner or a family member who's just going to love and support you and give you that care and nourishment. Potentially even a water sign, of course, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, doesn't have to be, but just someone who's in tune with their emotions, someone who's highly perceptive, where you don't have to say or do anything. They're just there for you. Also, what's very interesting, Aquarius, is that the bottom card, we have the Four of Swords. So not burning ourselves out, burn the candle at each end, so to speak. Also, as we are growing, as we're having fun, as we're asserting our power, to pay attention to our body. And I think that's kind of where like that catch or that kind of intuitive energy I saw on the channel on top of your stomach. So that kind of gut feeling, if we're not eating properly or taking time to nourish our body through movement, pleasure, whatever that may be, that we can't forget about the rest. And of course, with Saturn currently in Aquarius, it can feel like go, go, go. I have something to prove. There's work to be done, or I have this drive to succeed and to expand, but the rest is equally as important. And that can also just be linked in kind of like with that King of Cups, like I want to just rest or have fun, or drawing in these energies or opportunity that, yes, the expansion, the money, the love is great, but just maybe even the simple fact of doing nothing, resting, sleep. We're in Taurus season after all. Those Venusian qualities, allowing them to come in, because Venus also moves into Aries at the end of April, like May 2nd, I believe. So once we have Aries and Jupiter, Venus and Jupiter in Aries, that kind of beginning to mid-May, it's going to have that go, 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 that fiery, combustible energy. So Combine that with the eclipses, there's going to be a lot of energy. Plus, I'm sure most of you are either highly successful, running multiple businesses, or highly ambitious, or all of the above. So it can, sometimes we lose ourselves in that and just need those simple pleasures, or those downtimes, or just 16 hours of sleep to bring us back down, to receive the downloads, to bring in more money, to allow even greater love and happiness in. So it's a lot. Lots of good things, but please remember to rest when needed. Beautiful. So that is our general reading for this Taurus season. If this reading resonated and you want to say thank you, all tips and donations are greatly appreciated. Our link to our PayPal can be found in the description of this video. If you wish to dive further into the energies of this reading with a one-on-one, you can find all of our availability and booking information on our website for tarot, astrology, coaching, all the good things. And please feel free to tag and share with a fellow Aquarius that could also benefit from this reading, okay? Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful Taurus season. Mind the eclipses, and you'll be good to go, okay? Talk soon. Bye.